Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. Dee, a fwit-dee-dee-dee-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
That's absolutely terrifying.
Okay, we need to upgrade that. I think we're going to upgrade it.
Who do we talk to about that? Is there somebody on the team?
Yes, people who know how to do things.
I mean, that's awesome, and it's scary.
That tattoo, Angelica, was pretty solid. You should get that in real life.
Yeah,
I wonder because Lala has a scar.
Oh my gosh.
So we need to. So this is not the time for a shout out, but shout out to our amazing graphics person. I guess it was at Neenal He. How you may know her over on Discord. She's amazing, and she puts cool stuff together. And like not knowing anything about this game at all, she threw together a video for us like 3 weeks ago. So, but we'll let her know.
It's cool. It scared the hell out of me. So I'm a little stunned. Hi, everybody. Oh, welcome back. Did not have a heart attack. We are back. We had to take last week off due to some issues that came up in real life, but those are all resolved, and we are all back here ready to entertain you with Vale of the Failed and the Fallen. It is a Powered by the Apocalypse tabletop role-playing game that I wrote. I'm Robert Turk from Wicked Clever. I don't know what side I'm on. Point to both of them, Louis. So, this is a game for those of you just tuning in, right? This is episode 3, but we've actually had 1 episode of gameplay, all right? 20 years ago, as children, these 4 people were sucked into the magical realm of Eidolon. They were brought there as the chosen ones, given magical artifacts, and set up to save the realm. They failed horribly. They did not save the realm. There was a 5th kid with them. That kid did not make it. That kid was Scout. And so our first episode was setting up the realm, setting up the characters, all player driven. 20 years later, as adults, they get sucked back into the realm of Eidolon. They were in prison cells in a dungeon. They broke out of said dungeon, got their magical artifacts, jumped in the sewers to run away. Not everybody's favorite move. Have come to terms sitting in a old Thornwitch's hut that they are here now and they need to move forward for various reasons. Each character has their own various reasons, their own thoughts on being here in this realm. But this is where we are now, all right? And the last time, Louis decided Kyle is going to lead the first milestone. The game is broken up into milestones with time jumps in between them. So milestones are the goals. They're the things that the group is trying to accomplish to make the realm better. I can't. I'm booked. Unfortunately, I would love to go hang out in New Orleans, but October and November are very busy months for me.
You're trying to publish this.
Right, and so I might be running a Kickstarter in October for this. It might have to wait till next year. There's some things, some life stuff happened to me that was dealt with in a week. Life stuff has happened to other people that cannot be dealt with in a week. So the timeline on when this is going to Kickstarter is a little nebulous right now. But no, unfortunately, I can't go to New Orleans this year. I'm going to see what I can do with you all next year. Broken up by milestones. Basically, their first milestone is they're going to go forge a stronger alliance. And they have a choice here. They can either go forge an alliance with the Gastropedarians, they can travel to the Mushroom Forest of Ur, or they can go forge an alliance with the Umbrals, the shadowy people, who they didn't like their first time here, stayed away from them. They are camped out in the shadows underneath the floating sky islands. Can we pull up a map, or do I need to share my screen to show
I think if you share your screen, because I don't think I have a map.
Okay.
Make sure all your special windows are closed.
Oh man, I heard the air quotes around special there, didn't I?
Yeah.
He doesn't want us to know he's watching Teletubbies.
Yeah.
I'm going to share. Okay, that's it. I was like, I'm going to share something, and I don't know what it is. Because it
There's
doesn't.
a little, yeah.
All right, so there's our rough map of the realm. So they can go to they started outside the Witchwood. They can go to the Mushroom Forest. They can go to the Floating Sky Islands. So where did you all decide you wanted to go? Actually, it's time out. Let's introduce our players first. Yeah, let's introduce the players because nobody knows who the heck you are. So we'll just start with Louis, since Kyle is leading this milestone. Tell us who Kyle is.
Yes, Kyle Becker is a mattress salesman who lost Scout. Scout was a good buddy in Scouts, funny enough. And Kyle is kind of a little worried about the world now. He has a little bit PTSD dealing with, he's working in a mattress store to feel safe with the world. And when we got to this, when we got back, he was very excited to be back in it. And he's kind of having to convince everybody, hey, let's do good. Let's have a little fun. He seems like he's the upbeat one about this whole thing.
And this game is based around playbooks, like other Powered by the Apocalypse games. What is Kyle's playbook?
Yes, Kyle is the Watcher. Here's my playbook character sheet right here. And that gives you certain moves you can do. My magic item is an ever-burning lantern that has some magic things. Like it tells us when where good and bad are and stuff.
Yep. Awesome. All right. We'll slide around to Cubby. But just everybody sees the same screen. I forget that because we're on Twitch, we're all going to see the same screen. So we'll just go clockwise around this sucker. All right. So,
okay.
Cubby.
Andy was a jock in high school, and when a bunch of kids from high school disappeared and one of them never came back, he was kind of the one everyone figured did it. So he is kept to himself and completely shut down emotionally. He is a blade, and the blade I carry is a hammer.
Yep.
Yeah.
A warhammer named Shadow Basher that comes to me whenever I need it and can destroy anything that's not magical.
Absolutely. All right. And around to Mab.
I'm playing La La Lela. And La La Lela, she didn't reintegrate into society very well. Her parents never really understood what was going on when she was gone and came back. They thought she ran away. They accused her of doing drugs. They, as a kid, a young teenager doing like the worst thing in the world. So it was a combination. They kicked her out and she ran away. I think she probably got her GED. Not that it matters, but she did live a life of crime on the street. And she got the Cloak of Shadows as a child and is into it now. And her reaction to being back is kind of mixed. Like she sees she sees Kyle's point of view, but she also sees Andy's point of view. She's just angry all the time. So
no, we're talking about your character, Mab.
Yeah. Nice.
Wonderful. All right.
Forking and you. Don't make me forking come through this forking. Oh.
I love it. It's awesome. Thank you. And you've already got to use your shadow cloak. And,
I did. It was pretty cool.
And saw some ghosts that gave you some prophetic advice, sort of.
Which was really important, and I don't remember it.
That's okay. That's the way ghosts talk to us all the time, and we just don't remember it, right?
I mean, it was 5 minutes ago, but I guess I could rewatch the episode.
Right, it was 2 weeks ago for us players, so we don't actually remember what happened. And that brings us around to Angelica.
Hi, I'm Autumn Ingenue, and you probably know me from the Underworld. And if you don't, you should watch the Underworld. It's coming up next week. Anyway, so Angelica is the mask of this operation, and the coolest thing about that is the mask is actually a diadem. Oh yes. Angelica is a spoiled brat who is still, as an adult, a spoiled brat in some ways. And she's fine. She's perfectly. She does Pilates, okay, and drinks a lot of powdered greens blended into her almond milk. She's fine. We're fine. It's all fine. You're the ones that are the problem.
Yeah. And like we said, there is a fifth kid that never got to grow up. Your fallen companion, Scout, who was the group's heart and had a magical amulet that was able to heal people, but also had a celestial light and allowed them to glow with the light of Eidolon. They didn't make it, right? But you all did manage to pick up their amulet and are carrying it with you. And actually, for this milestone, since Kyle is leading the milestone, Kyle will be the one carrying the amulet and can access that ability as well as his own. So you also have a really horrible big bad in this realm. I'm just looking for their thing right now. The Vassal of Evil. They are trying to bring eternal night to Eidolon with their magical, mechanical automatons. These machines that have been grafted onto formerly living biological entities. And I think you encountered some of those. And the Vassal of Evil's name, as chosen by the audience, Noctis the Nightbringer, and he wields a staff whip of bone and obsidian shards.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The good news is you're not ready to face him, so you're not going to probably see him tonight.
I will.
So and I think it's important that we let everybody know, because this will come into play in your memories. Scout did die in the Witchwood in the final confrontation because they were convinced that love was more powerful than evil, dropped their guard, and tried to hug it out. And that only works in the My Little Pony cartoons. So it was not.
And that's why I don't hug people now.
And that is why Lala Layla is emotionally stunted now.
For sure.
All right.
What we're not, no, we're all fine. We're dealing with it. What we know how to deal. We didn't drop out of everything and live in. Anyway, I'm happy you're here, Lala Layla.
Honestly, Lala Layla was on that path when we knew her. So like, I don't know how much this had to do with it, but it sure didn't help.
Yeah.
You know, I was not a bad kid before. I think if I had just maybe some support in my life, I wouldn't have grown up to be a hot mess. And I mean hot. I mean, look at this. This is...
Yeah. That's a cool cloak.
Yeah. Just a little bit of support and love.
Yeah. All right. So now we're jumping into the game. We've introduced our players and our characters. Kyle, who do you think's going to make the best alliance for you all? Where do you want to go?
I think it's going to be our mushroom friends. I remember them from last time, and they're holding their own right now. They seem to be a rebellious force in this world. So I think of quickly aligning ourselves with somebody who has a little bit of strength and possibly resources for us to build from would be great.
Yeah. So the Gastropodarians, they are snail folk.
That's it.
They are snail folk that they have fortified in the Mushroom Forest.
Mushroom Forest.
And they're sort of, from what you remember of them, what the book says of them is that they are sort of monastic and wise. And then you all also added to that.
We learned how to find a path from them because they left their snail trails places.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So
they are in defeat.
Evidently.
Or foot, if you will.
And when I say snail folk, we're not talking about little tiny snail folk, okay? You could probably, as kids, you totally could have climbed on their snail shells and ridden around, right? So they stand roughly as tall from their gastropod, their big foot on the bottom, to the top of their eye stalks is roughly as tall as a person. So you're heading to the mushroom forest. The way this game breaks down is before you begin your milestone, you all have a moment to do any sort of preparations that you need before you head out. Now, your preparations in this case are not going to be earth-shattering because you're not leaving from a fortification or anything like that. You're leaving from an abandoned witch's hut in the middle of enemy territory. But if there's anything anybody wants to make sure they do or have with them, now is the time to say, oh, yeah, I'm doing this.
I'm going to put my diadem on my head because I have it and it's shiny. And it's going to be extremely helpful if we run into any people that might not be friendly.
But Absolutely. It also looks really good.
Yeah.
It does look good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always ready because Shadow Basher calls when I need him.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
I want to make sure we have some food with us, some water. And if there's a couple good quips about snails and jokes we could bring along to lighten the mood when we're out and about, that would be great.
Well, you might have to come up with those quips and snails as you are traveling through the realm. Because you're going to travel for a couple of days along the river, which is a great opportunity to fish, to catch some food, to scoop up some water. So one of the cool things about being in a magical realm out of a child's fantasy is you don't necessarily have to worry about dysentery. So nice. you can drink from the rivers, right? And you're probably not going to get sick. Now, if you were to say drink from the river that has a obvious dead animal in it, or a dead whatever, you might get sick, right? But you don't have to worry about we got to get water and boil it, and the kids don't think about that. And that's why you all die. No. So
what?
Eat some mushrooms, right? You're in the forest, you can gather berries, you can eat some mushrooms.
Yeah. All right.
When you get to those. Yeah, when you get to the mushroom forest, we'll see. We'll
see.
It sounds like everybody's sort of done the prep. You're carrying your items, right? You want to make sure you got food and water for the journey. You're going to forage along your way, basically.
Okay.
There's not a Starbucks to stop in and place your order here before you set out.
She did have her bag.
I'm so sorry, Angelica.
Layla had her bag.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it had, street stuff. Like, she's a street person. So besides the block that she was squatting in, most of her possessions are in her backpack, and that would be stuff like half a sandwich, safety pins, pencils, miscellaneous. Yeah.
Maybe some of those trail mix bars.
She had some bag of chips last time.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Love it. I'm going to ask you now, is there a can of mace in that bag?
That would honestly make sense.
I mean, it would. So I'm giving you the option now to have it instead of down the road. I threw something at you and you're like, oh, well, she would totally have a can of mace.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. I got notes on the back of
Protective mace.
Protective
mace. I think I want to also find a good stick that looks like a sword.
Okay. Absolutely.
It just looks, it's like a cool stick. I just want a cool stick.
Thornwood right now.
This is a really good time to do this, but those cat spiky fist things that are for punching that people keep on their keychain? It's like a jagged thing with a couple of holes to put your fingers through. Have you not? It's a pokey thing.
Like a brass knuckles?
It's like brass knuckles, but they were made when brass knuckles were illegal and sold as cute little cat.
Oh, so they're like concealed brass knuckles. So it's like you can put something on your hand and punch somebody, but then plausible deniability.
Pretty
It's
sure
just a
that's
cat
just a
trunk.
keychain.
Right.
It's a cat keychain thing.
It's a keychain. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm calling
Yeah.
it the cat fist.
Absolutely. If it makes sense,
Yeah.
you've got it. You've got it. Now, what will not work here are your cell phones, your laptop computers. There's no signal. There's no place to plug them in. So if those came with you, they're mostly useless. So, all right,
Fine.
awesome. You all start walking towards the mushroom forest, out of the thornwood, up along the river, and it will probably take you. It's probably about a week worth of traveling.
Wow.
Yeah, the realm is big, so it's probably about. I will say it's probably 5 days of traveling, and I believe, Louis, you are the only one that has reflection marked.
I do have a reflection mark. Yes.
You do have a reflection mark. So when you have reflection marked, you are allowed to stop on one of the nights that you are traveling for each point of reflection that is marked and have a around the campfire scene where your characters literally sit around a campfire while they are traveling and tell stories, deal with their memories, deal with the things that happened in the past. This is a crucial part of the game. So you do have to spend reflection to initiate that, right? So since Louis is the only one with reflection, you all get one around the campfire scene, and it's basically one a night as you are traveling. So, but you've got one that can do something for you. So did you want to do that, Louis? Did you want to?
Yes,
start?
I think it's important we do that.
All right.
Let's gather around the campfire. We're maybe a night in or a couple nights in. We've gathered
Yep.
berries. Did we get a squirrel? Does anybody know how to kill and skin and cook a rabbit, or is that right out?
Well, I know how to do squirrels and rats.
Okay, from your yeah.
You
Yeah.
just cover them in mud and stick them right in the fire. It's like a little film.
Okay, let's just stick with the berries, I guess. I wasn't prepared for that at all.
So fish are also a possibility.
Oh.
You can just
Fish.
throw them on the fire too.
You know,
Yeah.
well, you cut their guts out first.
Right. Fish. And probably muskrat, which is technically a fish during Lent. So,
Wow.
As is beaver.
as is beaver.
Sorry.
As is beaver. Another great T-shirt.
Yes. So yeah, you all can have an okay stopping around your campfire meal. I would say as you travel, the skies are darker than they used to be. Looking up, you notice that there aren't as many stars up there as you remember as kids. And it's not like a light pollution thing because you're not in a city, right? There's not lights. There are less stars in the sky.
Literally less stars. Some constellations are missing appendages now.
Yeah. There are constellations missing. The nights are darker.
Wow.
So the moon. How many moons does this realm have?
5.
5. All right, 5 moons. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to be a wuss.
No, yeah, you went big
5
moon.
moons. Yeah, 5 moons. Wow,
Like,
if they ever
3 of
line
them are
up-
actually pretty small, though.
Yeah, well, they all seem further away than what you remember. They all seem smaller. You're gonna have it around the campfire. And what around the campfire move are you doing, Louis?
I am doing a campfire move. Around the campfire move, there's a few to choose from. I am doing the one called Inspire Through Song or Story, and I'm going to start a story.
Awesome. All right, and the way this works for the audience, well, I mean, you're going to see it. Louis is going to start off telling a story. Everybody gets the option to add to the story if they want. If you don't have anything to add, you do not have to add to the story. At the end, it's going to come back around to Louis to wrap it up. If we were playing at the table, we would actually have a talking stick or something to pass around. Here, we're just going to go clockwise around the screen. Louis will wrap it up. And at the end, Louis gets to roll the dice to see how this story affected everyone.
And will nothing we say or do during the telling of the story will affect the dice roll, or will it? Like, do we have to remember something at the end? Be like, what was the third word said in every sentence?
No. You're just working on telling a story of something that happened in the past. Specifically for this one, I'm not on that page. Let me get to that page.
I have something. There are some prompts here, story prompts, which are great.
I'm gonna just give it to you.
So I'm taking one of them a little bit, but it's strange to be back in the world. I have to admit it. We did have some good times here, though, right? We had some fun times. Like, it wasn't all horrible. Remember that one time we got lost at the Great Mistwater Falls? Like, and we couldn't see anything. The mist was so thick that we could literally roll the mist up like snowballs and throw it at each other. Do you remember that? Is that enough to go on?
That's enough. Cubby, Andy, do you think you can pick up from that?
I mean, we couldn't hear anything either. The sound of the falls was deafening, and you couldn't even. It just surrounded you. It felt like it was coming from everywhere. There was just no way to get your bearings.
Yeah, but I gotta say, when Angelica decided to put that flavored syrup on it, that was inspired. Okay. She made mist cones, and I've never forgotten that. That was a sweet treat and a hard time.
Okay, the mist cones were good. I will give you that, Layla. I will give you that. However, it did stain my shirt when Kyle threw the mist cone at me instead of the regular mist balls that we were throwing. And Layla, thank you for helping me clean it up, because the boys were not going to do that, were they?
I mean,
Boys will be boys.
No, that's the worst thing, and I will punch you in the face for saying that.
I just don't know
well,
nothing.
I'm
about
glad
stain.
you. Yeah.
If I get a stain, it just stays there.
I mean, honestly, you could have just dyed the whole shirt to match. I still think that would have been the best solution. Move forward,
It did help. It did help once we started to get the syrup and everything. That did make the trail that finally got us out. Like, it did help solve the problem, even though you were messy. I mean, we were kids. I thought we had extra clothes with us the whole time, honestly. Somebody was carrying a backpack. I thought it was extra clothes. But we made it through. We all held arms. Like, remember, we all had our arms on each other's back because we couldn't hear anything. We couldn't shout, so we were going through. We ate a little bit on the way. And we got a little messy, but we cleaned up. So I think somebody helped us clean up.
I mean, bathing in the waterfall was fun too.
Bathing in the waterfall.
That was
absolutely.
it. Bathing in waterfall.
And what did Scout do during this?
Scout ate so much that her tummy hurt. So much.
I
We had to
remember
stop her.
they hurled.
I do also remember her using some of the syrup as paint.
Scout swore me to secrecy.
About the throwing up?
Yeah, they didn't want you to know.
Yeah, well, you know what? You blew that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Gosh, I hope I don't hurt Scout's feelings.
Oh my God, guys! First, Scout, bring it back together. Bring it back. Focus in. Where's the heart? And I hold up Scout's amulet.
All right. Is there anything you want to add, Louis, or has that story been told?
I think we've told the story of when we got lost and we brought Scout in and we had a little moment there, and we even though we were making a mess, we were having fun. That fun helped us figure something out. I think that's a good little moment of a story as kids we had. Yeah.
All right. So let me go to the mechanics of the game here. If at least half the players added to the story, they did. You get to roll 3 dice here and take the best 2. If all players added to the story, they did. You add +1 to your final score. So you're gonna roll all 3 dice. You're gonna take the best 2, and you're gonna add a +1 to your final score there.
Oh, my lucky dice. Here we go. And I'm very honest with my dice rolls, everybody. I don't.
You should stop doing that.
Yeah,
I should. Oh, gosh. I rolled a 3 and a 2 are my best.
That's your best?
Somebody please mail me more dice.
Nor can
So
you
wait, I
spend
think
hope.
there was a prompt that you just got. You got a happy thought, so you can re-roll. I think that's what that is.
Oh, did somebody
Re-roll-
send out a happy thought?
Oh, thank you, Happy Thoughts. I'll
Double
re-roll
check.
my 2.
Not the 3? Are you sure?
I need some different dice. Where are more dice in my world? All right. I have other dice. Good God,
We
these
need a
dice have not
natural
been my.
7.
I need a natural 7.
We need a natural 7 dice.
I do. Yes. Oh, yeah. To go with the nat 20. Yeah, it stays in theme. Okay, well, that's a 4.
One better.
5, 6, and then the +1 is 7. We made it to 7.
That pulls you out of a failure and into a success.
Whew.
Yeah. Good job there. On any hit, they call it a hit in this game. A success is a hit, which is 7 or greater. You add 2 hope to the pool for the milestone.
Oh,
Yeah.
So let me see. I have hotkeys set up. Is it going to work? There it goes. And the hope gets bigger.
Ooh.
All right.
Hot
so now
keys.
hotkeys. I just don't ever remember which one of them does what across the top. So that was a lucky guess. All right. So that was it. You've spent your reflection. You told the story around the milestone, right? And you travel for a couple more days, and you reach the edge of the mushroom forest. And you start realizing you're getting close because you start seeing like little mushrooms popping up here and there as you travel away from the swampy banks of the river here. But the mushroom forest is forest-sized, like tree-sized mushrooms. They are huge and towering over you, and all sorts of different colors and things hanging down and strange sounds.
Can I pick some of these little mushrooms on the way there?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bag of mushrooms.
Yeah. Are you wanting or hoping for magic mushrooms in any way, shape, or form? Or are you just picking edible mushrooms?
Mostly the first, but also the second.
Okay. All right. So if you're gonna want to try and go for magical mushrooms, we're gonna have you make a roll here. You're gonna make a move, and this would probably be a seek the truth, because you're trying to find stuff, right? You're trying to find stuff that's useful to you.
So how many dice do I roll?
Well, you're going to roll 2 dice normally.
Okay.
But we got a couple questions to ask here. All right. What are your banes? Do you have a bane that would apply to picking mushrooms?
When going my own way, and I have baggage suspicious when I have to trust.
Nope. It doesn't sound like either one of those really apply. Do you have a tether that applies?
Offending, injured, and bonded with Andy over troublemaking.
Nope. Neither one of those sound like they would apply here. What is your aptitude and your vocation?
Aptitude is sidekick, and vocation is anarchist.
Oh.
I love that vocation. I wish the American tax system had that one on there, like 7335 anarchist.
I think this is kind of a sidekicky thing to do.
Really? Not an anarchisty thing to do.
I mean, are you okay?
Well, what kind of magic mushrooms are you looking for?
There we go.
The kind that can take someone on a wonderful trip.
So you're
Again,
looking for
you're not being
some dangerous mushrooms. We'll go anarchist. You get a +1 from anarchist. Absolutely. Okay. So you're gonna roll 2 dice, and you get to add +1 to it.
Boop. 9.
A 9. All right. So you get to ask one of the following questions. Basically, you're going to find some mushrooms. And there's a list of questions. And the one you probably want to use here is, what is something here I can use to my advantage? Right. There's all sorts of other questions you could ask about the forest, but that's going to be the one that gets you magic mushrooms that you know what to do with them. I'm going to say this is what you get on a 9. There are 2 different kinds of mushrooms that you are able to easily find and collect. The issue is they nullify each other. All right. So you've got some poison mushrooms, right? That you could throw up you look at those puff balls.
Oh yeah.
Like you got some puff balls that you could throw, and if they explode in someone's face, they're gonna give them horrible nightmare hallucinations. All right. Or you've got some sort of Smurf-looking mushrooms that are healing mushrooms. Cool. Okay, but keeping these 2 mushrooms together, they're going to nullify each other, and you're just going to have edible mushrooms you could use in a...
Can I put them in 2 different bags?
No, they're magic. It's magic. It won't. So you get to pick one to carry with you.
Nightmare puffballs, please.
Nightmare puffballs. There you go. All right, you got some nightmare puffball mushrooms.
I mean, I'll put it up to the crew. Hey guys, check this out. These give people nightmares.
All right.
Be fun if we can have a battle. But these are healing. So, offense or defense in football terms? Defense?
Offense.
Kyle says big D.
You want the big D? Okay. Come on, Andy.
I say we do as much damage as we can.
Yeah, offense.
I mean, can we carry them separately? It seems like when you put them together, they get a little weird.
I mean, can one person carry one and I carry the other? No, because it's magic and I can only pick one set.
You can only
no, that makes sense. Yeah. Magic is real.
Yeah, they don't grow together.
Well, I voted. I voted Big D. Let the group decide.
One would definitely be more fun than the other.
So
obviously, I think we're going to need offense a little bit more. I don't trust anything or anyone here. Maybe you guys. So sorry. Let's go with Andy.
Guys, it is.
Yep. Hallucinogenic, in your face, puffball mushrooms.
How many do I have now?
I don't have dice because the GM never rolls
40,
the dice
80,
in this
100,
game.
97?
You have, I'm gonna say, you have a
1,000.
A battle's
1,000.
worth.
Yeah.
You have a battle's worth of mushrooms.
Oh, nice. A battle's worth. A beautiful quantity for a GM to say.
You have a battle's worth of mushrooms.
Yeah,
if I throw
for
one,
sure.
I'm throwing 100, okay?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
For story.
So I will say in this game, battles are always exactly 3 rounds. All right. So combat in this goes, and it's done, and you either won or you lost. You don't sit there chipping away at hit points on a horde of goblins. So I would say that's roughly 3 uses of mushrooms. But I don't want to quantify it and say you only have exactly 3 mushrooms. You've got 3 uses of mushrooms.
Fair.
Okay. So, all right. Anybody else doing something here on the edge of the mushroom forest?
Kyle is looking for slug trails, because he remembers the slug trails are how we found the gastropodardians, the gastro gang.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So Kyle is using his lantern that glows if friendly units are nearby, and possibly using the heart just to see if there's any thump feeling in that amulet as well. Trying to look for them goodies.
Yes. All right. Yeah, you can hold the amulet all up to your ear all you want, but that's not what it does. So you just look
Scout, can you hear me?
Yes, you hold it.
If I hold it to my ear, I can hear Scout sometimes.
Thinking, can I put my cloak on and see if there's any ghosts in this vicinity?
Absolutely. Let me do Louis first. Yes. So with using your lantern, you can totally pick up slug trails. You don't even have to roll for this.
All right, great.
You can pick up their trail, and it's sort of a combination of okay, so it's glowing blue, so things that can help us, things that are good to us, are over in that direction, and then looking around on the ground, and you see, these are the trails that they taught us to follow when we were here first. So you can easily find your way into where they are camped out. Putting on the shadow cloak, you do not see like ghosts like you saw at the witch's cabin where they were just everywhere. You see what does it look like when you put on this shadow cloak? What does it look like, the shadow realm, to you?
So it looks like everything bathed in a silver moonlight.
Okay.
Even in the daytime, everything looks silver. And a little bit fuzzy around the edges. Just a little bit.
Absolutely. In that, then, you do see the normal silver moonlight. They're bathing down. You do see shadows passing over the moons. When you look up in the shadow realm, you see dark, creepy, winged shadows flying in front of the moons. And it's not something you see. It's not something anybody else sees.
Also, maybe the moment passed, but when Kyle started talking to the amulet, Andy leans over to Lala and asks if she hit him with one of those forking mushrooms.
They're supposed to be like nightmares, but I do come back and I say, any response? Because there were no ghosts.
I see some trails, but the amulet, nothing.
Am I the only one who goes into the shadow realm?
You are the only one that can do that. Yeah.
I mean, you asking us? I don't know. You're the one who puts on the cloak. We've asked to do it, but you never let us.
Well, it's my cloak. I don't think it'll even work for you.
I let you hold my lantern once.
What's it do?
I can punch stuff in the shadow realm.
Yeah, he did punch some. Oh.
And for those watching at home, it's your hammer just appears out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, I did not feel the need to explain that. Thank you, Robert.
You've read your character sheet; they have not. So,
fair enough.
That's one of the things that you can do is just summon your hammer out of nowhere. So I know the smart ones got it. And the other ones in the audience are like, "Does he have a lightsaber? What's going on?"
No, it was very much called for. That's why I thanked you. No, nobody else, to your knowledge, from your group, has the ability to step into the shadows. You all have your own special things that you can do. And Kyle's lantern is glowing blue. So it is indicating this is the way to go.
All right, let's follow this trail. Remember when the Gastropodarians taught us how to follow their trails? That was so much fun. We got covered. Then kind of fading out. I could picture people rolling their eyes. As Kyle's just like skipping a little bit. Like, why is this old dude skipping?
So, Angelica, would you like to have some of these nightmare puffball things to chuck if you need them?
No, but I will very much be rooting for you when you throw one.
Awesome.
Yes. I'm just throwing it out here to the group. Was there anything particular you had to do to follow these slime trails? There doesn't have to be, but was there? I mean, did you have to skip to follow
No,
them?
I honestly think that someone made up a story and that it was complete bullshit to see who could get us to dance monkey dance. So, yeah, I'm not doing that.
We always told Kyle to go first, so that he would never notice that he was the only one skipping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
All right. So.
All right, guys. I guess I'll just take the lead again.
Yep.
Yeah,
so,
you're so good at it.
Thanks, Andy.
there's no doubt that they hear
Andrew.
you coming.
Sorry, Andrew. Thanks, Andrew, adult version.
You're welcome.
There's no doubt that they hear you coming. All right. And and that's okay because you hear them as well before you see them. You hear sort of a snailish Gregorian chant that just sort of
Are you thinking?
oh yes. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Just a complicated melody of long notes, some harmonies playing in there.
But it spirals. The music spirals.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
beautiful.
And it seems contemplative and yes.
Beautiful. They're a snurch.
Yeah, it does. It sounds a little bit like church music, right? It's calm, it's welcoming, it doesn't sound spooky and dangerous. So yeah.
I think we're close.
Yeah.
We can turn them if they're already fighting. I know they'll ally with us again. They were one of our closest friends out here last time.
I mean, I'm just here because I don't know where else to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't put my faith in us again if I were them.
Yeah, okay. I want to say something about that. Angelica, you may say something too, but I feel like we don't have a choice in the matter. We're here because they need us to be here, and it was the enemies who brought us here this time. So I have a feeling that they need us, and we either leave and thwart them, and then they somehow figure out how to bring us back again, and maybe we don't escape the second time, or we beat the enemy. That is what I can see as our only options.
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, we gotta try, but I'm just saying. I don't think we have a lot of social cachet in this world anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree with Andrew. Drew, got it this time on this one. Only because obviously I want to go home and I want to get out of here. And even if we try, how are we going to try? Because everyone here probably hates us. Like, even our old allies probably hate us. So this is...
Did we
not
leave by choice?
We didn't lose by choice. We lost by overwhelming circumstances.
I mean, not to speak ill of the dead, but hug it out. Come on.
You literally... Angelica, if we had to rebuild social cachet, How would we do that? Can you make a video to send them?
No, you would probably just find the biggest whatever gastro, I can't pronounce it, and just convince him or her or them that it's a good idea to join with us, because then everyone else will have to follow suit.
Okay, I see. Go for the big guy.
Well,
or gal, or them.
only one of us has a shot of convincing him.
Fine.
Yeah.
Lead the way.
All right, we'll get you there. Just keep that diadem on tight.
Did you all stop to have this conversation, or were you walking to have this conversation?
Yeah, we stopped. We didn't want to like walk in talking about them.
Right, that would be.
And then we're gonna fork them up so hard they're gonna be shirting
Whoa, whoa.
shells.
Whoa,
I'm
whoa.
kidding.
You took some of your mushrooms. Whoa, whoa.
All right,
La, la,
we
la,
know
la.
that Kyle's in the front. Who is in the back?
I am.
Oh,
Oh,
I'll hang out with
Fight
Andy.
for the back.
The two of
You're-
us in the back
you're
together.
both in the back.
Just being snarky in the back, making fun of the whole morning meeting going on.
It's also
All right.
basically a protective circle around Angelica.
Yeah, I
Right.
was gonna say
Yeah.
I'm probably
Yes.
chevroned right behind Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. And who is the more observant of the two of you?
The Watcher, maybe?
No, he's in the front.
No, if the guys in the back,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
Of
yeah,
the
yeah.
two of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me. Totally.
Yeah, that would
I'm
be
so used to
Lala.
watching over my back.
Okay, so you are literally occasionally watching over your back. All right. Some point after this conversation, not too long after this conversation, as you all are walking forward towards the chanting's going louder, you realize that there is a hooded figure shuffling along behind you. Not saying anything at all, just a couple of steps behind you. And wasn't there a moment ago?
I will real subtle move my hand and kind of tap Andrew's hand and use a secret code that we always had for lookout, because we used to do troublemaking together. Lookout.
I call Shadow Basher directly in front of me, so anyone that's behind us doesn't see I have it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So remember that thing? 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and 4 turns around.
All right. Now there's 3 figures back there.
I turn around and stop short.
Yeah, yeah.
Same.
And there are 3 hooded figures in the shadows in the mushroom forest, standing there,
I've got
heads
my little
bowed, hands
cat
folded
fist
in
in my
front of
hand.
them.
Okay, you know what? This is stalking, and I am not okay with that. You better announce who you are, or there may be consequences.
Okay. And the 2 in the back, they keep their heads down and their hands folded. The other one lifts its head very slightly and says, "Oh, but you are the ones that are trespassing."
Okay, does this look like one of those snail folk?
Yes, very much
Okay.
in shadow, but as you kind of like look, yeah, there's some bulk going on, and it's not a Victorian bustle. It's a snail
Nice.
shell back there.
I'm gonna make a snail. Oh, we were actually just following your trail. Hey guys, I think we found them.
And Andrew dismisses Shadow Basher and basically stands aside for Angelica.
Okay. I'm gonna sort of step forward past those guys because now we're completely out of formation, so it doesn't really matter.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to attempt to speak with them. I don't know if I roll anything for this, but basically just I sort of turn on a slightly different persona. It's almost very obvious that it goes from like, oh, all right, fine, I'll do this. Hi, how are we today? Hello. We are actually looking for our old friends, the
Gastapedarians.
Gastapedarians. And looks like we found them. How are you today? We're great.
You are outsiders to this realm, and yet somehow you know how to follow our secret trails.
See, that's the amazing thing. We actually love you so much because you taught us how to follow your trail because we were such good friends. I don't know if you remember, we look a little different, but hey, what's 20 years between buddies? Am I right? Please don't kill me.
I am going to have you roll now. You are going to
Okay.
make a move here.
Yay.
And the move, oh my goodness, as I lose all of my windows here. This is probably, okay, you have two options here.
Okay.
Seek the truth would be to learn something about them, okay? Like what is their motivation, what's going on here. Lead the charge would be to convince them of something, to give them an impression of you all. And obscure the details would be if you're trying to keep anything from them, which it doesn't sound like you're doing, right?
No.
It sounds like you're probably wanting to lead the charge here.
Lead the charge, yeah.
Okay. So, what are your banes?
Okay, so Bane is when I have to sacrifice for someone else.
Okay.
And when you need to show or feel empathy for others, which is kind of borderline.
Ooh,
It is kind of borderline. I'm not going to trigger that yet because your banes I have to spend threat to trigger your banes. Okay. On the flip side, what are your tethers?
When attempting to get something kept from you.
Yeah,
not really.
You're not really trying to convince them to give you anything.
No.
All right. What is your inner child aptitude and your adult vocation?
Inner child aptitude is spoiled brat.
Again, no, not really.
No, but adult vocation is an Instagram influencer, so that might influence a charismatic exchange.
Absolutely, you're trying to charm them, and that's what you would have to do. And actually, being the mask, you get +1 to all social interactions with important or powerful individuals.
Nice.
Yes. So it comes down to
what
the
items for. All right.
Also, not to be like rules lawyer, but every brat knows how to charm daddy.
So if this guy is either a father or a father in the monetary sense, this will be great.
I had learned a thing just now.
Yeah.
So actually, the aptitude for spoiled bracket is headstrong, and I don't know that you're not really being headstrong here. You're not.
No,
you're not
nobody's opposing me.
Nobody's opposing you, right? They're just kind of, who the heck are you? Oh, somebody's tossed bad luck at you because you seem sus. Yep.
Reverend.
I don't actually remember what we said these things did, so I'm gonna have to.
So it was roll 2 and take the lowest.
I'm pretty sure bad luck is you roll 3 and you take the lowest ones.
Yeah. That was the opposite of good luck.
Yeah, it's like triggering a bane. So, sorry, they triggered it for you. All right,
Hey, we haven't had it yet.
But all right, so you're gonna roll 3 dice. You're gonna take the lowest.
You got this.
2, but you get a +2. You've stacked on some bonuses there.
Okay.
Oh, Reverend Tommy says you must re-roll your best die.
I think he just modified the rules.
No, because it's the opposite. Because Louis re-rolled his worst die.
Yep.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Okay,
Thank
so-
you.
All right, so you're only going to roll 2 because we didn't trigger Banes or anything like that. That's when the 3 gets added. So you're only going to roll 2. Yeah, and for the audience watching, because Nat 21 is an audience interactive show, we tweaked the rules a little bit to let audience spend points to screw with the mechanics. So in the regular game, other people watching can't spend points to make you reroll dice. All right, so but yeah, you're going to roll 2 dice. You have to reroll the best one. So
All right. Well, I rolled a 5 and a 2.
you got to reroll that 5.
Oh,
Reroll
Comes up the
5.
second
Yeah, but
time.
whatever it ends up, it could be a 6.
It was a 1.
hey!
It was
Total of 5.
Total of 5.
That's all right.
That's not good.
No.
All right.
But it's not bad either, right?
Well, no, it's yeah, yeah. It's bad. All right. So
When
on a
she
miss,
spend a hope to re-roll.
you would mark stress to reroll. You cannot reroll the die that the chat made you reroll.
I
So
see.
you could mark stress and reroll that too.
You know what? Let's do
You
it.
can't get any lower.
It can't get
Let's
I
do
mean,
it.
Why did you
you
say
could.
that?
You
Right?
could.
No, that's
There's literally one option.
All right. I'm
Well,
doing
I
it.
mean,
I'm
it
doing it.
can't
I'm
be
doing
any
it.
worse.
I'm gonna-
all right.
Right.
Yeah, good.
Marking
Good. You got
stress.
this.
Yep. And it's a 5.
Hey!
All right.
Five.
So now, what is your total?
So that was 5 plus 5. Or no.
No, it'd be 5
3
plus
plus 5.
whatever you.
8.
8.
You got a total of 8. All right, so
Yep.
you barely squeezed that out, and the chat forced you to waste the stress. So, good job.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
That's fine.
So you get to pick one effect from the lead the charge. Okay.
Okay.
You could take this moment to inflict harm on this guy. Right. If you really wanted to, you could take something tangible away from them. You could make a statement about the entire situation and add a hope to the table, or declare one impression a target now has of you, and you gain +1 to all relevant rolls with that target going forward.
I would
one.
like to take the latter, please.
The latter one, right? Okay.
Yes, please.
So what's the impression they have now? How has the situation changed?
From being suspicious interlopers, we now are a very interesting, in a good way, new ally that has just arrived.
Okay. All right. They think that you could possibly be beneficial.
Possibly beneficial, as always.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Now, you either, because you have a consequence here, this was not a super success, right?
Yeah.
You either need to mark another point of stress, all right?
Okay.
Take harm. You never want to take harm unless you cannot mark stress, folks, okay? So give me a threat. I'm happy to take it, or ask for a trade-off in this situation. And I'll tell you what the trade-off is.
Trade off.
Yeah,
trade-
I was going to ask for the trade-off. Yeah. Let's see.
And then you get to decide whether that's what you want or not. So the
Okay.
trade-off is that they will absolutely recognize you as the companions and remember that you failed.
Hmm.
Ooh.
They're gonna find out anyway.
They're gonna find out.
Yeah, and I feel like we might be able to talk our way through this one too if we're lucky. So I'm going to accept the trade-off.
Okay. All right. So yeah, your charm, right? And the one in the front says, "Ah, yes. Now I see. You do look different. You look older, less frivolous.
Mm-hmm.
Still, unfortunately, failures."
Fork you.
Oh, dude.
Yes, but
you.
a failure simply means that you have tried and you cannot succeed or fail without trying. So we are here to try again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Good
halfway
one.
there.
Good
I don't
one.
see you wiping the kingdom free.
Why have you returned?
That is a great question.
We didn't mean to. We
We-
were brought
yeah,
here
we-
against our will.
But we're happy to be here and able to rectify the wrongs of last time we were here. We're down. We're here. Look how pumped we are. Look how yeah. I'm the only one like pumping and everybody
Right,
else
you're
is
the
like,
only
yeah,
one.
exactly.
All right,
You're like
you're the only one.
sorry.
The other two in the back,
Sorry,
sort of,
Andrew.
they don't really lift their hoods, but you can tell they kind of give each other a side glance, like, what is going on here? Yeah, and the Gaspardary in the front puts his hood back entirely, right? So you can see there's this. He's got a snail's face, right, with those things up on top with his eyes, like he looks like a giant snail.
Making eye contact.
Yeah, he is making eye contact, and he says, "Well, we would be foolish to look allies and send them away without seeing if they actually are useful and have learned from their past mistakes. It is very troubling that you are back in the realm and you say it was not by your own choice, which means something else wants you here."
I've got guesses.
And at that point, a dark shadow, everything sort of goes dark. A dark shadow falls over the entire group, right? There is a loud, ear-shattering, screeching, cawing noise. And then you hear the Gregorian snail chants breaking off and snails screaming. These screams of snails. So let's do some confessions. And our intermission. And we'll come back and see what happens next.
Kyle is almost peeing himself. He is so happy to see the snails again. He's going to leave a trail of his own. He's like, ah! So excited. Just the idea that they remembered us, that we're back to try again, that we can finally figure out how to save the realm. We don't even know why we're saving it sometimes. We just know we have to. It's a compulsion, a feeling. And then he just kind of falls back into a dream of soft, safe mattresses, forgetting all the horrible, horrible things that happened while they were here. He has a real penchant for forgetting.
Delusions.
Delusions.
I just can't help but feel that we are making a huge mistake by not going to the Umbrals. I mean, we assumed they were part of the Shadow, and that was a resource we left on the table last time. Also, it definitely feels like some people could be taking this a little bit more seriously. It's nice to relive childhood, but the only real memory I have of this place is the end of my childhood.
Okay. Fork. I may have messed up. I just thought it was a Shadow Realm thing where the Shadow guys were doing shadow things. But apparently they might be using the Shadow Realm to travel undetected, and now we have bad guys. Fork, I really forked up. Fork. Hey, it's a good opportunity to optimize here and perk up and pretend I'm Kyle for a minute. It's a great opportunity to show these guys that maybe we are not total failures and losers. Who the fork am I kidding? We're total losers. Fork.
Yeah. This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel right. I am lying to these snail people. And it's usually great. I'm great at lying. But this one feels bad because this can't end well. Nothing that we touch ever ends well. We are like the biggest failures that have ever failed. And failure means that you're trying. No, it doesn't. It means that you are cursed and have lots of bad luck. And I don't think this is going to go well at all. And now we're just going to lie people into their graves. Just lie until everybody's harmed, not just Scout. And worst of all, I had to eat a fish from a river.
Oh. So bad. Yeah.
It was, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't think I do a confession.
You do. You're the snails.
I'm the snails.
You're the snails.
Oh, I'm the snails. We're so screwed.
Oh man, I want to go to Snurch.
Yeah, got to go to Snurch this weekend.
All right, do we actually have an intermission video that we're supposed to play?
No, but I have a commercial break if someone's willing
Awesome.
to click a button for
There
me.
we go. Let's do a
it.
commercial
All
break.
This episode of Vale of the Failed and the Fallen is brought to you by Destination D&D. It's Ren Adventures New Orleans tour in November. Tour the city by day, tabletop game by night, and finish the event with a visit to the Louisiana Renaissance Fair. Visit you are visiting DestinationDND.com. I have to change that on my notes to learn more. We are also brought to you by, I think we have Mavs Mobile Mercantile still. Yeah, look at that. Stickers, mugs, magnets, and more can be yours at mavsmobilemercantile.com. There's some really fabulous stuff going on at Mavs right now. Mav, you were making some, what was the name?
And Kumihimos.
That's what it is.
The Kumihimo.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I just sent another round out for people. So,
Yes.
reach
That's
out.
awesome.
I can do bulk orders. Boop, 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 boop.
Amazing. MavsMobileMercantile.com. And I think we also need to mention Little Empires. Yes, look at that Little Empire gaming artifact. There are some awesome stuff. I do not have a write-up. But hey, there's a very familiar face who is running this company. Darn it, Kyle. Poor Kyle. But yes, unlike Kyle, this is a very successful business. No, that's terrible. This is not going well. LittleEmpire.com for all of your gaming artifacts and needs. Wow. I also want to mention TabletopTees.com. Yes, Tabletop Tees is made by our very own Z, who does have her own Twitch stream, twitch.tv/ZGoesMeek. And there are some fantastic flavors, including Nat 21 Adventures flavored teas. If you ever wanted to know what it was like to taste leveling up, well, you certainly can. I know some of my Underworld players don't know what that tastes like, and they can deal with it until next week. That's so mean. I'm sorry. Go to tabletoptees.com to order yours today. Also, definitely check out the Underworld. It is our Patreon player game, our Patreon Saints game, where our highest level Patreon subscribers get to play in one of our Nat 21 World of Urt based games. This one is going to be, this month's episode is not this Thursday, but next Thursday. This Thursday is Madame Ansa's tarot show. She's doing that a week early, so definitely check that one out this Thursday, and Underworld next Thursday. The final thing I do want to mention is that Speaking of Patreon, if you are not yet a Patreon subscriber, we have tiers starting at just $5, I believe is the lowest one. And there's all kinds of stuff that you guys are able to access. We have contests, we have prizes. Zolani just won a prize for July. And actually, one of the things that we've been starting to do over there, if you do participate in our contest, not only do you receive physical prizes, you get to influence the world of Urch. So we have had some of our contributors have created new creatures for us. They've created entire new towns for us. We have some new magic items that are created by our fans, by our players. So definitely check that out. We also have an AMA this Friday. If you are a member, including a free member, you can access our AMAs. And we have a very special guest on this AMA, someone very familiar who may or may not have created a Vale of the Failed and the Fallen. So over on Patreon, starting tomorrow, you should be able to start submitting your questions that you would like to ask someone named Robert Turk for our AMA. We'll run our AMA. So that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern on Friday. So we also could not bring the nonsense to you every single week like we do without every single one of you. That is right, my friends. Every single one of you are the reason we do this. You all rock. We love having you in our comments. We love our moderators. And we love doing this every single week the way that we do. So thank you so much with a rousing huzzah.
Huzzah!
Huzzah. Wonderful.
Sweet.
All right. So yeah, great. There's dark shadows flying overhead, cawing the screams of snails. So hey, guess what, folks? This is your very first battle in this game, Vale of the Failed and the Fallen. Like I mentioned a little bit ago, earlier in the stream, battles in Vale are exactly 3 rounds long. All right. So you're going to make moves each round. I'm going to tell you first what moves your enemies are making. Okay. And you're going to make moves to either stop their moves from happening or hurt them. All right. There's not a move that tends to do both. Okay. But your move is not like Dungeons and Dragons where I swing my sword. Do I roll to hit? It is a more narrative thing. So a move in this could be, because this battle is over in 9 seconds. Okay. This battle goes back and forth. All right. So your move for your first round of battle is setting up your initial positions in this battle. Right. So somebody could say, I run into the forest to climb up a tree, get out my bow and arrow and start taking shots at whatever's flying overhead of us. That's your move. Okay. You're not going to roll to run and hide in the forest, roll to climb up the tree, roll to take shots. All right. It's one big move altogether. All right. So it's whatever you're doing at the beginning of this battle. Now, because it's not just you all fighting in this battle, there's some NPCs that are technically on your side because they're getting eaten by whatever this is. Those count as allies for right now in this battle. And that gives you all a tether with those allies, meaning you can spend a point of hope to say how their involvement in this battle helps what you're doing. And you would get to roll 3 dice instead of just 2, and you would take the best 2. So having allies in your battle, whether it's an individual or whether it's a group, counts as an automatic tether. All right. So we'll walk through it slowly at first, and then we'll pick up steam as we get going. Okay.
First battle.
Your first battle. So
do not skip.
Do not what?
Do not skip, Kyle.
Do not skip.
Andy.
No tra-la-la here.
I'm sorry, Andrew.
The other way this works, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, you do not hold your action. All right. Everybody's going to make a move. Okay. You're going to declare what you're doing, and then the moves resolve in a set order. This is on your cheat sheet handout, the order that things resolve in. Okay. If you're using your special move, your big special playbook move, you can do that whenever you want in the order. Some of them, it makes sense that you may want to go first. Some of them may make sense that you may want to go last. All right, so you can go where you want in that. Otherwise, they all have a set order. Let me see. You are facing a monster. And I am going to spend a point of threat right out the gate for this monster to make it a little bit stronger.
Quickie.
So it's a little bit stronger.
All right.
And
we have a couple of good lucks on the table for Kyle and Andrew.
Oh.
But there's an ad break going on real quick, so 45 seconds.
Okay.
Thank you, 45.
I can explain rules while the ad break's going on. That's fine. But I did. I just explained pretty much everything you need to know.
No, that works.
So we got a good luck and we've got a good luck, which I believe lets you re-roll your worst die on those. So that's one going to Kyle and one going to Andrew. On your move, you'll get to re-roll your worst die automatically.
Okay.
All right. So you are facing a monster, which that's good news because it means you only really have one adversary to beat. The bad news is he gets to go twice because he's a monster. And I only tell you what his first move is. I don't have to tell you what his second move is. So his first move is he is going to try and
that really does not make me feel better going into battle with that banner.
Good, yeah. Heavy good luck.
Good luck, Kyle. Good luck, Andrew. He is actually going to he's going to try and scatter your allies. He's going to try and chase the Gastropodarians off so that you will not get their benefit. All right. So he's probably going to do that by eating a bunch of them and scaring the rest of them off. Okay. So that is what this giant flying thing is doing. And I can tell you because, as you're running around, you will have a moment to look at this. It is a enormous storm crow. So a giant black shadowy bird, but more than that, it's got all this mechanical crap grafted onto it. So it's like it's kind of like a transformer, one of those bird transformers that just has this sort of dark, shadowy essence.
Biomechanoid.
Yes. All right. So does anybody know what they want to do at the first round of this battle?
So if it's trying to scatter our Gastropodarian friends, does that mean it's low enough to attack?
Absolutely.
I'm going for it.
All right, so you're attacking it, right? So you're gonna lead the charge to try to cause harm against it. All right.
Yes.
All right. Anybody else know what they want to do?
Yes, I'm going to hide and try and sneak attack this thing.
Okay. All right. You're going to try and hide and sneak attack, your special move. All right. Wonderful.
I'm going to try and provide assistance and thus possibly relieving some of my stress.
Okay.
So I'll try to help the Gastropodarians when they're scattering, try to keep them together, try to wrangle them and be like, over here, out of the way, duck down, and try to help them avoid being scattered.
Okay. Now, technically, mechanically, the provide assistance, I think that's a great move that you're making right now because you'll be able to help heal yourself, but also possibly toss some bonuses to other people who do really well. It will not keep the Storm Crow from scattering them. You would have to block its move with hold the line. So if somebody wants to stop it from doing that, that is specifically a hold the line move. You are stopping something from happening. All right.
No, I'm providing assistance. I'm trying to help them if they're doing one way or the other. Yeah.
All right. So that leaves Angelica.
I don't want to be anywhere near this.
Okay.
I am definitely going to.
Oh my goodness!
Sorry,
they hate
Angelica.
You know what? Just because
Well-
I'm abrasive and rude doesn't mean you have to hate me, okay?
Also, if I understand correctly, she's your GM on the Patreon.
Yeah, wait a minute. You are in the comments right now asking for a level up to help me and then using it to bad luck me. So guess what you're not getting?
I mean, I think they may have figured out that Angelica feeds off of people's hate.
Yes.
Yeah.
It might be true.
Trolls.
Yeah.
So, Autumn,
I
would go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I think I'm going to be looking for somewhere to hide until I can sort of logic my way into a better idea.
Sure. So obscure the details. You're trying to hide, and if you do well, you could also provide an opportunity for other people to hide. All right.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
because Mab, in order to use your special move, you have to be hidden, right? It has to be unaware of your presence. So, I'm gonna give it to you this first round, but using it a second round, there's gonna have to be something that happens that allows you to hide.
I've got another plan for round 2.
Okay. All right. Okay. So,
Nice.
What's
here-
a plan?
Here we go.
What?
Mab, do you want to go first with that? Or do
Sure.
You want to... Okay. All right. So, because the playbook move can always resolve first. Or do you want to wait and see if Kyle might be able to provide some assistance?
Honestly, I'm going to let Kyle do the thing with the hammer and see if that.
That's
works.
Andrew. I don't have a hammer anymore. Remember, he wouldn't let me hold it.
Oh, that's true. You couldn't
What
lift
do you
it
mean
up.
anymore? You've never held Shadow
Once
back.
while you were sleeping, I almost did. I'm being honest. We're being honest now.
It's made of shadow.
Maybe I dreamed it. I don't remember. Andy, I don't remember. I'm sorry, Andrew. I don't remember.
All right. Louis, you're going to roll some dice here. What are your banes?
My banes are safety when bad things happen, and careless when paying attention matters.
I'm triggering your bane because
Yeah.
both of those seem important right now.
Yeah.
Trying to
Something matters.
hurt these and not get your own head bitten off. So I am triggering your bane. You're going to roll 3 dice and take the worst 2.
Did you
all
burn
right.
2 threats?
Hang on. You get some more bonuses maybe. What is your aptitude and your vocation here?
My aptitude is athlete, which might help, but not totally. Like
Defense.
defense.
And the other one's
And then
mattress salesman? which
Mattress
definitely-
salesman. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could convince somebody here to like lay down for 5 minutes, but I don't think that's gonna help.
I mean, it could. I'm going to give you the 1+1 from since you started the defense chant, right?
Okay.
So you do have a +1.
Excellent.
Did Kyle get a bonus? I believe Kyle does have a
Yes.
bonus.
I do have a luck
luck.
or a.
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So the way this is going to work, because I did trigger your bane, you're going to roll 3 dice.
Yes.
Okay. You get to re-roll your lowest one, but then you got
Yes.
to take your lowest 2. Okay. So you got a bonus
Okay.
re-roll in the middle there.
All right.
All right.
And I'm going to. This time, I'm not going to be honest about my rolls, right?
So you should be honest about your rolls. We should show. the
That's
people
not
at
what
home
I heard.
How the game works. Even when you fail in this, it moves the story forward.
Yeah, you
I
should
did-
definitely be honest about your roles.
Cubby, I think you have something. Cubby, do you have something in your eye?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's very
All right.
it's very subtle.
It's I rolled a 3 and 2 5s.
All right. And did you re-roll the 3 already?
I have not, so here we go. A 2.
Oh, so that actually, their good luck actually hurt you.
Sorry.
All right. So you take your worst 2 there.
Cubby, I wish you had said something. I would have just lied. I wish you had spoken up.
All right,
I'm
so-
sorry, buddy.
7.
I'm sorry.
You still
A
passed.
7.
Okay. So
Plus
with your +1,
one.
that's going to take you to an 8,
8. That
Right.
brings us to an 8.
which is a success. I mean, so is a 7. All right. So you do get to pick one effect from the provide assistance list there.
Yes.
But you also have to
Yes.
take a consequence.
Okay. We haven't used a lot of hope. I can add +1 to the hope pool if somebody wants to take that on one of their turns. I can throw one out there.
Yeah.
Your target removes 1 stress. Can I target myself? Is that how a stress is removed?
You can.
I'm going to remove 1 stress. I'm going to go inwards and
Yeah.
self-soothe.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, aren't you trying to wait? I'm confused. Forgive my
Yeah,
confusion.
go on.
Aren't you trying to get them to cover and safety?
I am.
And that makes him feel good about himself.
Oh, I see.
It does.
It's a second.
It's making me feel good. It's making.
So
Thank
did
you
the thing,
to everybody.
and then you get this other perk on top
Yeah.
of it.
I get the other perk,
Yeah.
a 7 to 9. I get to pick 1 effect, remove a stress, +1 to a next move, give a point of reflection, or +1 hope to the pool. But I have 3 out of 5 stresses, so I think
Oh, yeah.
just as far as mechanics, I'm going to try to reduce those so I can use those later, sort of thing.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. So you lower your stress, and you do have to take a consequence.
Yes.
You should probably not mark stress as your consequence.
Oh
That would
my
be-
gosh, that's the first thing I was going to do. Oh, Kyle, get it together.
Yeah. Your safest one here, as much as I think you're gonna hate it, is to give me a point of threat.
I think so. You're down to 2. We're still balanced out. I'll give you a point of threat. All right, great. Yeah.
All right. So that was Kyle's move. And Kyle, you get to tell us what that looks like.
I go and start to move and push the snails, and I kind of almost fall over them, and that reminds me of laying down sleeping, and I kind of curl up and try to hide a few of them under me as I'm curled up on them like they're mattresses.
All right. Yeah, I think Kyle did get some of the mushroom. Okay, I love it. Wonderful. So that was provide assistance. Obscure the details goes next. So that would be Angelica.
Yeah. So I'm personally attempting to hide. I don't think I'm on purpose trying to get anyone to follow me or take anyone else to safety, because it's
Sure.
very I'm getting
Sure.
the heck out of here.
Yep. All right. What are
Um,
your banes?
So my banes are when you must sacrifice for someone else, when you
Nope.
need to show and feel empathy for
Nope.
others.
Nope.
Because I'm not trying to get anyone to hide with
You're
me.
covering yourself.
I will mention, I do have a question. Is a burned tether is a bane as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this might come into play when being the smallest helps you sneak or hide.
Oh, yes. In fact, that does.
Probably, right?
I'm burning the threat to activate your bane. Okay. So you also have a bad luck, meaning you're gonna have to re-roll your best die.
Okay.
All right. And hang
I
on, but you
know.
might get some bonuses. Are you being headstrong here?
Again, I don't think I'm being challenged. I'm just
Okay.
running. I would
All
say
right.
no.
And does your being a, I know it's not a YouTube star, but that's the first thing that comes to my head. Does being an
fine.
influencer help you here?
Not
No,
particularly. I just
not even
run
a
it.
little bit.
I have a way that
No.
it does. All right.
Okay.
If you are trying to dodge annoying fans or the paparazzi,
Okay.
right? Like
Yeah.
you don't look your best. You don't want to be caught on camera. You don't have to go with it because it's me saying something about your character.
No. I agree because
also,
like being
has-
able to obscure. Yeah.
Has Angelica like broken into concerts before to get footage?
Oh.
Oh, 100%. Like
Yeah.
using somebody else's private jet to pretend it's mine. Like, oh yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
All that-
All right. So there's your +1. Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
Okay. So this is kind of complicated. The chat made it complicated. You're going to roll 3 dice. All
Okay.
right. Look at those 3 dice. Get rid of the best one and re-roll it.
Okay. Rolled a 2, a 3, and a 5.
All right. So
I'm gonna
re-roll your
re-roll a
5. Yep.
And I rolled a 1.
Of course.
Ooh.
Okay,
Being
so
honest.
so right now, Angelica, you have a 4.
Being honest.
You have a 4 to hide. You probably failed this.
We probably failed this.
You probably failed this.
Angelica's like, you can't see me.
So
Do
you get,
not look at me. Whatever you do, stop
All right.
looking at me.
Great. All right. So when you fail a move, when you get a miss, you what you wanted doesn't happen. Okay. So you are not hidden in any way, shape, or form. All right.
Okay.
You mark reflection because
Okay.
you learn from your mistakes, right?
Okay.
And I make a move. I'm turning your move back on you. That's my move. This thing is gonna go after you. Like you are absolutely fully visible to it. You are now the target. Forget the gastropodarians. You've got this shiny thing on your head, right? And the Shadow Crow wants that shiny thing. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. Seek the truth. Nobody was doing that. Lead the charge. That would be Cubby. Yep. So, Cubby, what are your banes?
You're gonna love these.
Okay.
Crow.
So as I'm rushing into battle against this monstrosity, and my banes are when someone's safety depends on me being the fastest or the strongest.
Yep.
Self-destructive.
Yep.
And my burned tether is when engaging with magic and wonder.
Wow.
Well, the good news is I only get to do one.
You are spoilt for choice.
Right. Yeah. All of your banes apply here. I am triggering a bane. What is your vocation and your aptitude?
Aptitude is athlete and vocation is exterminator.
I think they both apply, but you only get a either or, so that's a +1 to your roll. And I believe you have a bonus from the chat right now.
You do.
So
you do.
you're going to. This is again a little funky. This is not quite how the rules work, but you are going to roll 3 dice because I triggered a bane. Okay. You get to re-roll your worst of those dice from the chat spending points. All right. But then you have to take the worst of your 3.
Okay. There is a tether that I feel would be good to invoke at this point in the game. Is that something that can help?
Rules as written, if a bane is applied, a tether cannot be.
Okay.
This is something, I'm just full disclosure, this is something that we are exploring behind the scenes to see if you could then burn a tether to reverse a bane. I mean, not burn a tether, but use a tether to reverse a bane. And we've gone back and forth on it. So the rules when they're printed may have an option for you, but right now there is not that option.
Okay, just because it fits the situation so good.
It makes sense. I get you. But right now,
oh no, I just want to let you know what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though it won't help, but Kyle ran with Andy and they were running neck and neck, and nobody can ever tell Kyle this, but the tether is that we were combat bros, and that brought back good memories.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Y'all have got all this hope. And we're playing fast and loose a little bit with the rules anyway because it's not 21. If you want to spend a hope, mark that tether. That will negate the bane. Okay? It won't flip it to a positive for you, but it'll take it back to 2 dice. So you're not forced to take the worst of 3.
Okay. I'm going to do that just because I feel like that's an important moment for Andy's journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so the answer maybe it goes in as an optional rule.
Like a heat of the moment or something where you can trigger it or something.
Yeah. All right. So you're back to a blank 2. You get to re-roll your worst one. So roll your dice. You're adding a +1.
Yeah, I mean, this is straight up football. Like Kyle's running defense, and Andrew
Yeah.
is running the ball. And by ball, I mean the big ass hammer that takes down.
I rolled a 3 and a 5.
Okay.
I'm re-rolling the 3.
Yep.
Yep.
And that is a 5 and a 5.
A 5 and a 5 plus a 1 gets you to a freaking 11.
Which is
awesome. You get to pick 2 effects from the list, and you may pick the same result twice from the lead the charge.
I don't know if we've had one this high before where we've gotten this got to choose 2. I don't know if we have.
I think
yet.
this
That's
is
great.
your first super success.
Yeah.
Strong hit.
Yes.
Well, I'm definitely inflicting harm on this target.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm honestly, Andrew's just gonna inflict 2 harm.
Inflict 2 harm. That makes sense. So what does that look like, Cubby?
So as Kyle dashed forward, Andrew is neck and neck with them. They're running in sync. They are a team together. And as Kyle goes to cover the Gastropodedian, Andrew uses Kyle to jump up into the monster's face with Shadow Basher.
Yes. Aptly named Shadow Basher. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And
Beautiful.
perfect. Yeah. You actually smash it in the face, and it rears back and takes another path. Like it is peeling away from you and Kyle and
And I would like to take my opportunity now as it reels back.
It's your turn.
This whole time, I stepped in the shadows first thing, and then I climbed up a mushroom so that I could strike this thing when it flew by. And I would like to shadow strike it.
Okay.
I'm going to leap out of the shadows and land on it and stab it in the head with my little kitty.
Yep. All right. What are your banes?
Going my own way and baggage. Suspicious when I have to trust.
Going your own way is a bane?
Yeah, that's what it came up to be.
Okay. All right.
But I'm actually working as part. I'm utilizing these guys as a distraction.
I'm with you. You just argued your way out of it. Good job.
No, I saw that and I was like, oh no,
yeah.
she is absolutely using the entire environment to her advantage.
I'm with you.
Unlike Angelica, who doesn't know how to work in the shadows.
All right. And then what are your tethers?
Shiny light.
Defending injured and bonding with Andy over troublemaking. I'm going to count that as a...
So the bond only counts when you are defending or avenging that.
Well, defending injured and bonded with Andy over troublemaking.
Right.
Am I not reading this right? I knew what he was going to do.
Yes.
I wanted him to do it.
So the only time you can use that bond with Andy is if Andy has fallen and you are avenging that, or if you are stepping in front of Andy to defend him.
Yeah.
However, defending the injured, I think does apply if you want to spend the hope on that. Because
I have to spend the hope to use my silent death, right?
Or
Marcus Stress.
Or Marcus Stress. Yeah, because there are Gastropodarians being murdered. Their heads are being bit off.
I definitely want them to be defended. So I'm going to mark a stress, and I'm going to burn a hope.
Okay.
So I get the 3 dice.
Yep.
The stress is marked to do the thing.
I don't think anybody has messed with you
No.
I already had one stress burned.
Okay. All right. So you get to roll 3 dice and take the best.
Yeah. And I'm totally gonna lie. Yeah, no, that's an 8.
A total of 8.
Do I have any pluses to that?
What is your
Anarchist
aptitude?
and sidekick. Steadfast. I would argue that the sidekick, because I am assisting this one and this one. I'm utilizing.
Yes.
It was very intentional to wait until after he struck.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You get a +1, but that's only going to take you to a 9.
Damn it. That's right.
It's not gonna take you over the edge. You could spend another stress if you wanted to re-roll one of those dice and try to get you over the edge.
Oh, wait, I already burned a hope, didn't I? Doesn't the hope? Oh, that gets me 3 dice.
That gives you 3 dice.
No, I am racking up stress.
Okay. All right.
But I really only need to do, unless he's more than 3, really only need to do the one.
Yeah, you jump out. What does this look like? You unfortunately don't kill him. So you hurt him a lot, but you don't kill him.
So he was like, those two were fighting, and then it's like, and then he flew what he thought was retreating from the guy with the pokey thing, and he flew right underneath me, and I jumped out of the shadows, landed on him with the spike right in his head. So I'm actually technically still riding him.
All right. And part of this move is on a 7 to 9. It is clear that you attacked, so you are not hidden, and it gives me +2 threat.
Yeah.
All right. So I know. Yeah. Your awesome moves are awesome, but they also can hurt.
I have a question.
Wow.
Yeah.
How is this different than a regular attack like what Andy did?
So the most Andy could possibly do was 2.
That looks like the most I could do.
No, you just did 3.
Oh, I just did 3 harm. Oh my gosh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy crap. Yeah. All right, I'll take that.
All right. And to go a little bit further in that, Andy actually has a special move as the Blade, where he can attack multiple adversaries and spread damage out among multiples. All right. The Shadow is very much our assassin, strikes one adversary and strikes them very hard. So that there is some stuff you can play with here. However, the Storm Raven has their second move. Unfortunately, Angelica is absolutely the target. So it is going to swoop in and take a big old chunk out of the side of Angelica's face, going for that tiara.
Oh,
so this does inflict harm. However, you can choose to mark stress instead. And if you've got stress, you should mark stress instead of taking harm.
Yep. Yeah, I have open circles here, so I will mark one down.
So you mark it. And then you basically say how that wasn't as dangerous and deadly as it originally looked, right? Because you took the stress instead of getting bird beak to your face.
So fortunately for me, this is a lot sharper than it probably appears on camera. These are very, very sharp. And going for my head, head wounds tend to bleed a lot. So instead of taking an entire chunk out of my face, he was kind of met with some spikes up here. Yeah. But for sure, there was a nice sizable slash right across here. That's not going to heal up very pretty. So.
Right. Also, I'm going to guess that it came away with a fistful of weave.
Oh, whatever's my absolutely. Absolutely, my expensive extensions went with him, and I'm pissed off about that more than the head wound.
All right. Okay. So
I'll be getting them from his cold, dead claws.
This is your very first battle in the game, right? So I am going a little bit easier on you. It's not going to feel like that when I explain mechanically what happens at the end of this round, okay? But so our audience knows, me as a GM is going a little bit easy on our players in this first battle. So what happened there, right? Okay, Angelica tried to hide, did not work out for her. Kyle runs trying to gather some Gastropodarians, get out of the way, get off the field, right? He uses his own body to cover him. That gives him good memories, right? So that he got to heal a point of stress. Andrew comes running, bounces off his back, smashes the thing in his face, which sends it veering off. Layla jumps out of a tree, stabs it in the back, and is riding on top of it as it swoops down and flesh wounds just skims the side of Angelica's face.
Ooh, so sorry.
All right. As you notice there, you did not stop either one of its moves from resolving. All right. So the Gastropodarians are scattered. They cannot be used as a tether. All right. They are scattered. They are useless in this fight. I also gain a point of threat at the end of round 1. All right. This thing, however, though, you've torn feathers and chunks of metal are falling off of it. It is in really bad shape. It is going to, as its first move, it's going to get Mab off its back. All right. It is essentially going to do an inverted barrel roll, trying to shake Mab off, and then diving towards trees, trying to knock this rider off its back. All right. What are you all doing?
I'm going to stab it again like a regular stabby stab.
Stabbing it with a regular stabby stab. All right.
Kyle's going to use his special ability with the lantern.
So that's not really a combat move.
Okay. But it has will-o-wisps I can send to distract, confuse, or lead targets.
Yes, so that's different from your special move. Your special move is
yeah. I see. You're right. Sorry, find the path is my special move. This is just my lantern will-o-wisps.
Absolutely, lantern will-o-wisps. Okay.
I could send out flames to highlight, distract, or confuse is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to gain inflict harm as a hit effect on any move when using the wisps.
Absolutely. All right, Andy, what's Andy doing?
The metal parts on the creature, does it look like there's a way to mechanically disable its flight? Or is it like...
I mean, breaking them. Are you saying like if I pull out this hose here and...
No, breaking them, actually, because Shadow Basher can break any non-magical material, and I'm assuming the tech isn't magic.
It's the bond that makes it magic. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. You can smash it specifically at the parts.
Okay, I'm gonna take out a wing.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, really quick, Kyle, are you doing hold the line? Is your distraction to keep it from doing stuff?
Yes, to keep from attacking and scattering, I would think so. Like I'm not trying to inflict harm directly, but I am trying to get it distracted and stop it from messing with all the Gastropodarians.
Okay, and Cubby is breaking its machinery, trying to inflict direct harm, or is it trying to assist Mab, provide assistance, so that Mab doesn't get knocked off and can make their strike?
Andy cares more about harming the bird than
That's great. That's great. All right, and what is Autumn doing? What is Angelica doing, Autumn?
Okay, so it has come to my attention that I think instead of seeing me first, this thing saw the shiny crown. And it's going to be important that this giant bird does not notice everybody jumping at it at once, because it might try to move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of fling this to distract it. So maybe it will look in the direction that I'm throwing it, like, hey, over here, kind of trying to see if it will go after something shiny and look away for a moment to give them the opportunity.
Okay, so that sounds like you're obscuring the details again, because
Sure.
you are hiding their presence by distracting it to something else. Okay, I love it. All right, that means you get to go first, actually, because nobody's providing assistance, so you get to go first.
Okay.
I don't
What's so
believe you have-
interesting? I think they have a tether and a bane that like cancel each other out. So I'll let you go, but I'm looking at
Okay,
this.
what are your banes?
Okay, so the bane is when you must sacrifice for someone else, which isn't really, I'm not losing it.
You're not really sacrificing it unless it eats it.
Right. When you need to show or feel empathy for others, which
I'm not going to trigger that one.
Okay.
Because you're more setting them up to just be hidden, right?
And you're also covering your ass.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, your tethers, though, go for your tethers.
So obviously the one is being the smallest helps you sneak or hide, which doesn't quite count.
Nope.
But then when attempting to get something kept from you, I don't know if I'm getting anything.
Not really. Like, it would be getting something.
It would be getting something from me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you got 2 dice.
All right.
I am going to give you a +1 for being flashy as your influencer.
Okay.
And trying to draw its attention. Look at me over here.
That's definitely an Instagram thing. Look over here. Look over here. Click on me. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. 2 dice.
2 dice. And you take 2 dice and you get a +1.
Okay, so I rolled a 3 and a 4 and I get +1.
That takes you to an 8.
Right.
So there's a list you can choose from there, but the one that fits what you've already said you're doing is draw all attention away from a target and onto something else.
Yep.
That's exactly what you said you were doing, was drawing its attention to this thing. So it is laser focused on that. You do have a consequence, so you either have to mark, stress, take harm, give me a threat, or ask for a trade-off.
I'm going to ask for the trade-off because I don't like any of those.
Yeah, so the trade-off is going to be that it grabs your tiara. Like, it has it.
Oh! All right, fine. I'll take
That's
it.
The trade-off? Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, so you better hope
fun.
You better hope they kill it, or the second milestone is recover Angelica's tiara.
Yeah, no, don't let this be in vain.
All right. So that was, and you kind of already told us what all that looks like. Do we have a lead the charge? Yes. Mab and Cubby were both leading the charge. So who wants
I'm going to let him go first.
Okay. All right.
Can I use my special move?
You can. You absolutely can.
Because this is an enemy that is larger and stronger than me.
It is. Yeah. So you have to spend a hope or mark a stress.
What is the name of your special move?
Relentless Assault.
Ooh, fudge. Dude, do it.
You know what? I haven't taken any stress yet. I'm going to mark a stress because we're pretty low on hope right now.
Yep. All right. Mark a stress. Do you have a bane that applies here?
America.
I'm self-destructive, and I have a burned tether of engaging with magic or wonder.
Oh, right. Yeah. So there you go. Roll 3 dice to take the worst 2. However, this is absolutely athletic. So you're going to get a +1. Also, you're a mechanic. Is that your... No, you're an
exterminator.
Okay.
Exterminator.
So you're getting the +1 from this is an athletic thing banging on. So roll 3 dice, take the worst 2, and is anybody in chat giving you... they've given you good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
So you get
Andy has a good luck, yeah.
Yep. So you get to re-roll the worst.
What is a happy thought?
You get to clear a stress if you
Like
tell
puppies or something.
Oh.
if you tell the chat a happy thought that your character has.
Y'all, I rolled a 6, a 5, and a 2.
Well, you get to re-roll that too.
I'm re-rolling that too and hoping it improves.
Right? You got this?
No.
Oh,
Wow.
gosh.
It is a 2.
All right. So
Oh no, we said re-roll the 2.
And it rolled a 2 again.
Just
all right.
re-roll the 2.
So you
I
got
think
re-roll.
If it helps, I think it was the other 2.
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah.
Makes sense.
So that is a hit. That is a 7. 5 plus 2 is a 7, believe it or not. So that is a hit. You get to inflict 3 harm on this thing.
Oh, that's right. Because it was a super.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it directly to its ability to locomote.
Yep.
All right. Describe how this thing dies.
First of all, I'm sorry, Reverend Tommy. You're right.
Damn it.
So Andy rushes forward. He's aimed at the side of it, and you can see as he raises the Warhammer Shadow Basher that it basically glows with almost a black flame as it just demolishes through the wing, but doesn't stop, and the rib cage just explodes.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And it comes tumbling out of the sky.
Can I use my turn to surf this thing down?
And not take the harm that I was about to give you? Absolutely. So, because you are changing, however, your declared move, you do have to mark a point of stress.
Okay. I just got rid of a
Sounds
point of
worth
stress.
it.
Yeah.
Sounds worth it. Surf that thing out of
What
the
am
sky.
I gonna do? Stab a dead thing?
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. But that option always exists. You can mark a point of stress to change your move, especially if your move is no longer valid, right? So, yeah, you were ready to stab it, and it's like, wait, it's dead. It's falling out of the sky. I need to do something else now. All right, surfing it down. That's a hold the line because you're really trying to stop harm from befalling yourself.
And other people.
And other people. Oh, yeah, you want to kind of steer it so it's not crashing on gas.
I mean, I got the wings right here.
Go for it. Go for it. Give me a roll. I'm not going to burn a bane because I want this threat.
It's 2 dice, right?
It is 2 dice.
Oh, that's 11.
There we go.
Hey,
There we
all
go.
Six
right.
and 5.
So you get to pick 2 effects from the list below. One of them does need to be stop harm from befalling yourself.
Okay. I stopped
Okay.
harm from falling myself. Which one is the one that does make it look really, really good?
Make a statement about how the situation stays the same and add a hope to the table.
Oh, there it is. Hold the line.
Actions do speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Can I say befalling myself or the target? I don't want it to hurt anybody.
Yeah, so that would be your 2 moves.
Yeah, but can I look good while doing it?
Absolutely. You can describe it however you want.
Yeah. Oh man, she looks at. So she like flips her little cat dagger back into her pocket, grabs the wings like fist full of wired feathers, and stands up and steers him like. I mean, and then she'll roll off of it and takes the superhero hunkered pose.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we're a little bit past time. So I'm going to wrap this up for everybody. You all just kicked the thing's butt. You didn't need the 3rd round of battle, right?
Really?
No.
And I was
That feels
thinking
good.
this. Yeah, right? And not only feels good, it looks good. Like the gastropodarians, sure, a few of them have been eaten by this mechanical bird thing. All right. And the tiara, when it lands, sort of rolls out of its mouth. Okay. and it's got blood and stuff on it, but it's still your magical tiara. You probably want that back. So there's some triage that happens. For a moment, you all are just kind of ignored. Okay, the monks, the Gasperidarians are helping each other out, seeing who's injured, who needs help, and then kind of like once all of that is secured, they start chanting again. Okay. And they are leading you, coming over to each of you and leading you sort of to the center of their clearing. And as you listen to their chant, there's words in it this time. And it's talking about how the heroes have returned to save the realm. And they're taking the shadows away from the moon and smashing them on the ground at the feet of the Gastropadarians. They throw you a little party. It's not like a party like with drinks and dancing. It's a very stoic party, but they are celebrating, right? They are celebrating your return. You have absolutely 100% won them over. All right. They have become part of your vanguard. They will fight beside you after this show of force against the Vassal of Darkness, right? You have done what you set out to do on this milestone. All right. So awesome. Good job. There is a very little bit of housekeeping to do right here at the end because you get a level up essentially. So
we're going to level up with Louie.
At the end, well,
hey everybody, we're doing it. We're actually doing it.
At the end of their milestone, whether it's successful or not, every companion, and it was successful, every companion may either mark reflection or remove a point of stress. I believe points were spent for Mab. I think Mab, you maybe already removed the stress for points that were spent. There were also points spent for a happy thought for Autumn to remove a point of stress.
Okay.
So if that clears your stress, you don't need to remove any stress, and you could just mark a reflection. All right. Once you fill up your reflection track, you are able to take a new tether, but you also use reflection to do those around the campfire moves. All right. So it's save it to get something or use it to get an immediate something. Okay. Louis will get to pick as well another ability for their gift. So Louis, before the next time we meet, you want to pick one of those gifts and add it. So because Louis led the milestone, he's the one that gets to pick a gift.
Okay, all right. Yeah. On our character sheet, we have these gifts here. Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, awesome.
All right. And finally, at the end of every milestone, hope and threat do not roll over. If there is hope equal to half the number of companions rounded up, there is. You have 2 hope in the pool. There's 2 of you as half. You may pick something on the realm sheet and move it up 1 level. Something else in the realm gets better because of what you have done. Now, the flip side of that is because I have more threat than half of you, I will pick something else and move it down by 1 level. I cannot ever move anyone out of your vanguard, so I can't take the Gasperidarian allies away from me that you just made. Likewise, you cannot move something out of the forces of darkness. All right? If they are committed to the darkness, this automatic move is not going to affect them.
So we picked like the mushroom forest to make it better.
You could pick the mushroom forest and make it better. Yeah.
I mean, that's the obvious one, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Like word of our victory spreads and inspires.
Yes. So that would move it from tainted and twisted by evil up into it's a wild and dangerous place, which is actually good for you all, right? You don't want just people coming and hanging out. But yes, word of your victory spreads. So it moves up a little bit better. And the better things are in the realm when you face that final battle with the Vassal of Darkness, the more bonuses you get. So the thing that I'm going to move down on you is I'm going to move the Umbrals down. Since you all made the decision to go to the Gastropodarians, the Umbrals are going to get worse.
Classic.
They're no longer a force of resistance?
Nope, they are losing their fight now.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
They are losing their fight. This is a game of hard choices.
It is.
So they go to... they're hanging on, but just barely. So they
We're
drop
going there
down.
next.
Yeah.
So, and the Gastro joined your Vanguard. All right. Do we do confessions at the end on this show? I forget.
I think what we just did might count as confessions.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So you all had a victory. Things in the world got a little bit better, and at the same time, things in the world got a little bit worse because you can't be everywhere all at once. So thank you all so much for playing tonight. We will be back next week for one more episode, one more milestone. We're not sure who's going to lead that milestone next week. We'll talk about it and decide, but y'all don't have to see all that. So thank you for tuning in. I am Robert Turk, Wicked Clever. This is Vale of the Failed and Fallen on Nat 21 Adventures, and these are my awesome friends and players. Thank you so much. I don't know if I have to say anything else.
Bye, everybody.
So
Thank you.
Bye.